So today I want to do something different. Actually got some good weather here in Michigan, so I thought I'd take a minute to share with you a book that I've been excited to actually get in the mail. So I just ordered it, but it's a new copy. It's a fresh release, rather, of Robert Kiyosaki, and it's entitled Fake. And so it's been a while since I've actually done somewhat of like an inside the cover, a book review, semi sorta. But I think what's going to be special about this book is that it's Robert Kiyosaki's latest, and he's one guy that loves to shoot it straight and just basically be very truthful and transparent with his viewers. And what's most important and special about this book is that it was done in a very creative way. To where I first heard about this book, I think it was the fall of last year, and so it's about 15 or so chapters. But what makes each chapter unique is the fact that he wrote each one and then published it online one by one, and asked all of his viewers and all those that follow him at the Rich Dad Poor Dad YouTube, as well as everywhere he could. He basically asked for feedback right away so that he can make adjustments and improvements, so that he can make sure he delivers even more value so that people can understand. So today what I'm going to do, basically, it's about 453 pages, so I'm going to do my best to try to thumb through this book in a timely manner to give you an idea of what's going on inside of it, because I'm definitely look forward to reading it, just because I think it's a very relevant way of being able to share information with people, because everyone knows Robert Kiyosaki just because of him being the whole Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, video, the game, and just him being a real estate mogul, as well as having written a lot of great books with current President Donald Trump and things of that nature. So basically, I'll put a link down below if you guys are interested in finding out more through Amazon. Just got my copy today and wanted to share my thoughts on it. But first off, it says fake. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets, how lies are making the poor and middle class poor. Then it goes to the back. It gives you some of the categories of which he talks about here. And so it says fight fake with facts. So he talks about fake money, fake teachers, fake assets, a little bit of a summary as to what's going to be inside. But just to thumb through it briefly, give you an idea what's going on, go to the table of contents so we can get the nuts and bolts of what's inside of here, and more importantly, I'll thumb through it. I want to keep this short and concise as best as I can. But just to go to the very first table of contents, and so we have fake money is the part one. And then chapter 1 talks about fake money. Chapter 2 is in God We Trust. Chapter 3 says 7 practical reasons I own real gold and silver, a case for God's money. Chapter 4 is printing fake money and how history repeats itself. Chapter 5 is how much money are you printing and how to take control. Chapter 6, it says 8 philosophical reasons I own real gold and silver. So I definitely want to touch that one. Then part 2 talks about fake teachers. And it says introduction to part 2, chapter 7, what made the 3 wise men wise, the value of lifelong learning. Chapter 8, going back to school, fighting what's fake. And so I'm definitely going to criticize the school public system, I'm sure. It says how to catch a lot of fish, seeing the invisible. Next chapter. Chapter 10, it says why mistakes are your best real teachers. And so those that follow Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about the importance of learning by trial and error, not necessarily sitting in front of a school, learning from teachers. Chapter 11, how going to school keeps people poor, bucking an obsolete system. So I'm going to touch that one. Chapter 12, entrepreneurs in education. Chapter 13, a student of God. Choose your teachers well. And then we have part 3 where it says fake assets. And so chapter 14, it says why retire young. Then it says the next big crisis in page 331. So definitely going to cover that one. And then chapter 15, it says who took my money, how retirement, pensions, and fake assets are causing the poor and the middle class to grow poor. Then we have chapter 16 here, where it says fishing and clean water. Chapter 17 is the end of the U.S. dollar and preparing for a brighter future. So definitely each chapter here, out of all these chapters here, were written, then resubmitted so that the public can actually share their thoughts and views on it. So it's definitely going to have a lot of information worthwhile. But as I thumb through it briefly, there's a lot of graphs in here. And then clearly we can talk about here, it says gold versus fake money. We have some graphs here, some pictures. And then it says here about billion-dollar bonuses and more graphs. And so give some reasons why real gold and silver, why not paper gold and silver exchange, traded funds, spiritual lessons of gold. And then what else we got here? It says printing fake money. So it's definitely going to be an entertaining read. And so I'll keep you guys up to date as I thumb through this book. But yet all of these graphs here kind of give you an idea of what he's trying to accomplish with this. And so if you read any of his past books, very easy to read book. But like this, the fact that he's talking about facts. So here we have pictures and visual aids. So this could be a good tool to put in people's hands just to get them to think outside the box. And so it says 8 philosophical reasons why I own real gold and silver. And so it says, what are yours? Reason number 1 is trust. Then he talks about gold, atomic number. Then we got reason number 2, gold and silver are not investments. Why? Because they're money. It says number 3, real gold and silver have no risk. And then he talks about who are losers, why savers are losers. And he gives you this little graph here. Then the next one here, it says banks are not safe. It says people's money. And so it looks like he's going to talk about cryptocurrencies. And so it says reducing risk, how to make a lot of money. Then he talks about James Rickard, currency wars, and things of that nature. Reason number 4, affordability. Gives a little history lesson there. Reason 5, complexity versus simplicity. Starts out by talking about 1972. Next one here, it says the 5 G's. It says, to be a realist, it is important to be both a pessimist and an optimist. I am optimistic about the future. I am also a pessimist about the future. It says, being a pessimist, I prepare for the future with the 5 G's. They are gold and silver, grub, food at least 6 months, gasoline. I invest in oil wells and have gasoline I've needed to get out of town. Ground, I have safe properties with food and water away from cities. And it said guns and ammo. Both guns and ammo serve as protection and currency. Counterparty risk. So this definitely him laying out his cases for reason 7. Buying gold and silver coins is easier and less expensive than buying gold and silver mines. So obviously not a big fan of owning silver mines, but information there. Then thumb through the back up a little bit, go to the back. Then we have just the typical information on financial literacy. Talks about taxes, how to reinvest, debt, income, assets, liabilities. Definitely all good stuff here, worthwhile, stuff you don't learn in school. And then he talks about why people are not rich. Then he lists, income statement, where if you've read any of his prior works, he talk about most people accrue things that are expenses as opposed to assets, and understanding just the financial balance sheet in general. So definitely going to be some more good information. It says why mistakes are your best real teachers. And so I'm sure you're going to talk about his rich dad and the contrast between his poor dad. And then thumb through some more asset balance sheet stuff here. Then we got some pictures about a plane. And then I like the fact that he includes a cash flow quadrant here. And even further back, I read as I thumbed through it, more graphs. So it's loaded with information here. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading it myself. It says fishing in clear water. Then he says tax percentages paid per quadrant. And so we all know the ESBI, employees and self-employed pay the most tax, 20% if you are working for your business. And if your money makes money for you, as he always talk about how he pays no capital gains tax, very smart man. So the goal should be for everybody to try to get into this lower quadrant or to this right side if best we can. So more information there. But anyway, just want to take a quick minute to thumb through this, let you guys know what's going on. And definitely, I think it would be a good read and well worth your time to do so. So just the information here, a quick little thumb through of this book here, Robert Kiyosaki, called Fake. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And more importantly, if you guys are interested in grabbing a copy, I'll include my Amazon link down below so you guys can get a copy. And I'm going to thumb through this week and next week and hopefully get through it quickly. And then I'll come back and probably do a follow-up video. But more importantly, talk about it probably on a live stream or something like that. So here we have the new book, just came out. Excited to read it. I think this can be very important. And so he's going to touch on a lot of things that he's covered before. But he put it out there first, got feedback, went back in and added more to it so that more people can understand just where we're at, what's happening, and what's coming. So other than that, leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And will you be grabbing a copy of this book, Fake? And more importantly, because I think it was like $14, $15 or something like that, would you be willing to buy a copy and give it to your friends and just inform them about some of the things that Robert Kiyosaki is known for outside of this information? Because you can promote this as like some educational / real estate investing type things and just basic business one-on-one common sense that you don't get from your school sources. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your day and leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts as to whether or not you think this could be valuable to helping educate yourself a little bit more. Other than that, enjoy your day. Thanks.